Hello everyone!
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween and welcome to a spooky edition of Star Trek Late Night Trek.
An excellent way to come back after a bit of a hiatus.
A bit of a hiatus. We're changing up the format a little bit and we're going to do some seasonally appropriate episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation. To begin with, we may do some other favourite spooky episodes of other Star Trek shows.
Yes.
But tonight, guys, we are doing the classic Troi floating through Dreamspace with a green bum. Season 4, Episode 17, Night Terrors.
Yay!
And if you'd like to watch along, please get your timestamp to 0 and press play at the sound of the now. Now. And of course it's...
There we go. Well, now you know if you're single.
Copyright claim!
And for those of you wondering, yes, October 1st is the start of Halloween. Halloween is a season. And I will die on that hill.
And a very noble hill it is to die on too.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm always sorry that we don't get to hear the very spooky music that really sets the scene for this episode quite nicely.
Yeah. I hope whoever's watching at home, make sure you have the volume on just a little bit so you can hear the spooky
Some
music.
kind of diminished, augmented thingy.
It's wonderful.
Counselor.
Oh, Troi. Is Troi going to be just barely useful? There it is.
The thing is, they have to use her to suggest things that are spoopy. There's a mystery. The mystery here. Otherwise, telepath would immediately go, "Oh, yeah, he's lying." You know?
Yep.
That's why they made her an empath, so she wasn't just sort of breaking the. I love Riker's blink of like, "You fucking serious here? Oh, what are you doing?"
Riker's look of, well, all right, you're usually of no use, but okay.
Fun fact: in the script, it's Bratane. They spelled it wrong on the ship model.
Excellent.
It's Britane. It should be Bratane. I think it's named after like a military general or something like that. I don't know.
Now it just looks like they spelled Britain wrong.
Britane. Yeah, so I always thought that was weird. So this was a long favourite, long-held favourite of mine for this series. Whenever I'm in the mood for a cosy, spoopy episode, I always put this on.
Spoopy.
It's got some good scares in it.
Ooh, nasty.
That's the first of them.
It's definitely one of the... I mean, even just that makes it one of the gorier...
It's dark,
episodes.
Yeah, it's a dark one.
I mean, I expect that kind of thing in DS9, and somewhat in Voyager, but TNG doesn't tend to do, knife through the chest.
Yeah. Although, original series had, obviously, this is a sort of a reference to that ship. I think it was the original Defiant. Like the one that they named the Deep Space Nine ship after. In the original series, here's John Vickery in a catatonic state. I have things to say about him later, but not right now. But yeah, it's sort of a reference to they find the crew has all gone mad and killed each other on that ship, on the Defiant. So it's a sort of reference to that, I guess.
Excellent. On the Defiant?
Not the original series Defiant.
Oh.
It looked just like the original Enterprise.
Oh.
They did that a lot. They just sort of renamed them. The Constellation, the Lexington, the Excalibur, blah, 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 blah.
Wasn't the Defiant called the Defiant because didn't they want to name it something with a V, but then they said you can't name it with a V because we're going to be calling the Voyager.
Yes, you are correct. They hadn't released the name Voyager yet, but they said you can't name it anything with a V. It was going to be the Valiant.
Ah, okay.
Which is another original series ship. Which I don't think we see. I think we only see its like black box or something, like the little kind of canister that comes out of it.
I'm looking forward to watching loads of Spoopy Trek.
We're going to get some Spoopy Trek, and we're going to go out there with Spoopy Trek. We might branch out into the other shows. We might do some original Trek. We're going to do some spooky Voyagers, of which there's several very spoopy ones.
Yes. I think some of my favourite Spoopy Trek might be in Voyager.
Yeah, because by that time they'd really gotten the psychological stuff really good in Star Trek, and it was definitely sounding. By that point, it was kind of. There was a little surer hand in the direction side of things, and then you had to make something genuinely disturbing.
I'm looking forward to it.
What's your favourite spoopy Star Trek episode,
Ooh.
if not this one.
I mean, this one is pretty high up there.
Yeah.
Oh god, which is the one in Voyager where they all go into cryopods and one of them wakes up and is having terrifying nightmares?
Ooh, oh gosh. There's one where 7 of 9
Yes.
has to command the ship on her own.
Because they're all in cryopods and she starts hallucinating that people are waking up.
Yeah, I think that's one.
That one I think is
It might be called
a
one.
very good spoopy one. It's not. I mean, I guess it's not exactly spooky, but it's psychologically creepy.
This is another one of the episodes that establishes that if you're not on the Federation flagship,
you're screwed.
Yeah, bad news, because if you're not, it's a very, very dangerous place to be. You either go insane or you
get a knife to the
you
chest. Also, if somewhat unrelated, but if you're not keeping up with Lower Decks, you should be. It's been a very good season thus far.
We are loving Lower Decks.
Yes.
We just watched the one where they go to an old favourite haunt.
Yes, we'll leave it at that.
I'll put it that way.
But it's
which
exciting.
Is wonderful.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I see there in the subtitles it says Brattain, right?
Ah, very good.
Whoopsie.
Very good. I want panels like that on our walls. I love how they try and make it look like it's an actually blipping monitor, but the pattern it doesn't actually change. It's just a light moving through.
For 1991, this was great.
It still looks great. I just think it's funny.
So here we are. This actor is John Vickery, who played Nehruun, a Minbari on Babylon 5.
Ah!
He's the one that has the big fight with Marcus.
Ah, okay.
Gorgeous reuse of the classic USS Reliant model here for the Brattain, which got a lot of use in the TNG era. Even though these ships would have been 100 years old by that point, they were looking old by like Wrath of Khan era. They were already looking kind of old.
I feel like we have too many lights on for spoopy.
Yeah, well, we'll deal with that if we do another episode.
Yes, everyone at home, you should have all your lights off. It's meant to be spoopy. Set the mood.
The other thing that's really works about this episode, and I've seen it enough times to know this, is that the sound design is really good. The way that they suggest that there's stuff going wrong in the ship.
I love his transparent
It's nice,
ship.
isn't it? Yeah.
I was trying to think of sail ship. That's what I was looking for. It reminds me of when I was in college physics and I had a question that was asking me to do some calculations based on the movement of a ship. And I was having the hardest damn time because I was trying to calculate the question in 3 dimensions. Because when I hear
you
ship,
were trying
I
to be
hear...
too clever, yeah.
Well, when I hear ship, I think starship, not ocean ship.
That's
So
my nerdy girl.
I was trying to calculate it in space.
So they're saying here, all 34 of them were found dead aboard the Brattain. They all killed each other. There was no outside alien presence. There's always an outside alien presence that you guys can't detect. But
of course
also,
there is.
34 of them in that massive ship?
It seems like a skeleton crew.
Maybe it was.
Ooh, she's not looking too good.
No.
I hope that's makeup to make her look really tired, because otherwise I feel a bit bad.
Yeah, no, she's been made up to the nines there, hasn't she?
Oh, Jesus.
Disturbing. I love a good disturbing captain's log that suggests things happening that we didn't see.
Ooh, the hair ripping out is a...
Why is she like
effect.
smiling?
Because
Oh, here we go.
It begins.
I forget that we just cut straight to this. They don't establish her falling asleep or anything. We just cut straight to...
There it is. There's the shot. There's the thumbnail.
Thanks, Blu-ray.
I think we just found the thumbnail for the video.
Yep. And I know where I'm going to put the googly eyes
I knew...
On the moons, Annalise.
Of course.
Where did you think I was going to put them?
On the moons.
Exactly.
You missed my joke.
No, I didn't.
Okay, good.
I love that you can so obviously tell where she's being hoisted
you
from.
You can see the wires.
And she's also like sort of laterally wobbling one side to the other.
Yeah, she should have at least like move your legs a little bit or something. They're trying.
Yeah, I mean, they did this on such a shoestring budget and so quickly. The thing is, they actually had a pretty good budget for this show, but they had to make them basically in a week.
Yeah.
You know.
That nightie does not look comfortable. Who wants that around your neck while you sleep?
Ooh, Marina Sirtis boob we're getting right here.
Yeah.
But it's in the wide shot. But,
So
you know,
fine.
somebody will have upscaled that and zoomed in.
Oh God, let's not.
This was an era when the visual effects started to look really movie quality. I mean, look at this. This looks like it could be in a movie.
Oh, it's very pretty.
And upscaling it to, you know, doing the retransfers for Blu-ray was a fantastic decision. Here we go. We've got Icheb here.
He looks like he's like 13. Let me guess. He's gonna be the first to go mad.
I like the way the camera racks in.
I mean, there's some good facial acting on the part of the actor here.
But all of that was just sound design.
Mm-hmm.
They just had some like... And if you're watching this alone in the dark, it's a spooky episode. It's
as
good
all
stuff.
you should be.
It's good stuff. And the thing is, LaForge instantly, he's like, look, I get it, man.
It's creepy.
That's why LaForge is Rich Evans in a recent podcast on his on Red Letter Media said that I think that Geordie LaForge is the only person in the 24th century who would actually bother to be my friend because LeVar Burton is so naturally friendly.
Yeah.
And, you know, the way that they write his character in this, he's always like, he validates that guy's fears, even though they're completely irrational. He's like, look, you know,
Totally fine.
I'm scared too. It's going to disturb everyone. Everyone's going to be in a bit of a funk for a few days now.
Mm-hmm. I think, I always think...
Time for marital troubles with the O'Briens.
Oh, God, why? Sorry, I have a deep hatred for all O'Brien Keiko drama. It's so freaking stupid.
Yeah, it didn't really... I feel like they were trying to get casual viewers more interested by giving some interpersonal sort of soap opera drama, but it's just not that interesting.
Also, they are so unbelievable as a couple. Ridiculously. There's not an ounce of chemistry between these two actors. Mostly because O'Brien is a dick to Keiko.
And Keiko's awful back to him.
Exactly.
So they're just both awful. And also, I don't think we see too many moments of them actually being a functional couple and actually having a good time together.
No. It's like 90% them angry, them arguing with each other.
Their wedding goes to shit.
Yeah.
They're not. Their wedding isn't even going right.
She wants to call it off.
She wants to call it off. This is the very next time we see them, I think, after that.
And they fight loads on DS9. I think
it's endless. They even make jokes about it constantly.
The best they seem to get on is when Keiko goes away for a year.
Or when it's not actually Keiko, it's a power wraith possessing her body.
Oh, yeah! Oh, jeez. That was a mistake.
Or when it's not actually O'Brien, it's some kind of weird alien clone.
Also, I thought the child they have, the actress they have playing their child, she looks like a doll. Like, she looks so ridiculously perfect, and it kind of creeps me out.
She's a creepy child actor.
She looks like...
I want mommy!
She looks like a porcelain doll, and porcelain dolls are creepy. Oh, no. Like, oh, no.
I do quite like how it's sort of suggested that people in this century would be so averse to any sort of superstition or, you know, sort of paranormal stuff that when it does happen, it freaks them out way more.
Yeah.
It's like you said, a Starfleet officer, I've got no time for shades and spirits. But I do think that's... And also the nature of the delusions as well is weird. It's like Picard hears a door chime.
Yep.
Other people see ghosts and more disturbing things. It's sort of random.
Oh, yep, there's the tuck.
Back to my laptop.
Doesn't he go very subtly insane in this moment? Yes. Good. Thought it was gonna be something else. Why? I never understand why that model of the Stargazer is yellow. Do we ever get an explanation for why it's yellow?
No.
Like, it's
I think it was never really meant to be shown on screen, but they couldn't really do a yellow model.
It's a very ugly color.
Because the model came first. Then they introduced the ship middle of season 1 or something, and that's when they built the larger model that we've seen many times.
I'm honestly surprised that Eagle Moss never tried to like sell off some extra Stargazer stuff by spray painting it yellow.
The micro machine. Now this is very, very geeky. The micro machine.
Do you know what channel this is?
Yeah, the micro machine was yellow.
Okay, all right.
So it was meant to look like the one in the.
Mm-hmm. Oh, someone's going a little cray cray.
She just seems to like forget how her console works to death, I guess. Ensign Rhaegar.
Sick bay time.
It's Riker's little mannerisms where he's just like, come on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That actor reminds me just a little bit of Markiplier.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I think he has very broad, buff shoulders.
They tried doing some interesting things with the angles here. You know, having an upward angle there showing Worf in the background, or having a close-up of Geordi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, we're stuck again. God damn it, this happens 4 times a month.
And only Lower Decks ever calls attention to it. Oh, God. Lower Decks. Still need to get a model Cerritos. I want to be that person that the model on my desk is the Cerritos.
I do quite like that you could sort of tell the actors were probably filming this at like 4 a.m.
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
just fucking bored or...
Patrick Stewart looks freaking exhausted in this scene.
He does fall asleep in one episode. You see him on camera just like... Oh.
I remember, yeah, he does.
I forget what episode that is.
It's one with Q, I think, isn't it? Or am I wrong about that? I could be wrong about that.
I forget. There's somebody else in... Oh, it's Data's Day. It's where the Vulcan ambassador, who turns out to actually be a Romulan, she's talking to the screen, and Picard's in the background. He's just like, because it's not his scene, so he's like catching 40 wings.
Oh, catching 40 wings, very good. Yeah, they all look very tired in this scene.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense because they are supposed to be, sleep deprived.
It does. But I don't think that's entirely acting. The bags under the eyes would say otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I mean, if I was making this episode, wait, I have to make an episode where they're all sleep deprived? Well...
Guess I'm not going to bed tonight.
Schedule all of the shooting at 4 a.m. I mean, on a show like this, they probably did have crazy schedules.
Oh, God, I'm sure. I need to get one of those, one of the doctor's coats, and so I can be Dr. Tana.
Yeah. It needs to be a little bit raggedy.
Yes. Oh, give it to a cat. Put some catnip on it. Get it a little torn up.
I mean, at his best, Picard doesn't exactly look sprightly.
Ooh, I like that they've actually messed up Riker's hair just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as perfectly coiffed. See that?
There's a couple of...
Someone came along and pulled out a couple of strands.
Just make him look a little raggedy.
Yeah, but I like that little raggedy is quite literally, 6 strands out of place.
They've gone in with like a makeup pencil and gone like, bags right under the eyes again.
They've done a pretty good job at the makeup.
I remember when I first watched this, I was very creeped out by it. Is he annoyed because Picard's going to bed?
I think so.
There's something he's annoyed by.
Nighty night, time for nappy naps. Picard has a very distinct dimple on his chin. I never noticed how much of a hole that is. That chair.
He like fiddles with his fingers. He fiddles with his thumbs and his fingers when he when he's sort of awkward, because he's such a tall man.
Yes, he is.
He has a weird way of kind of leaning as he goes around corners as well. You'll notice.
Yes, indeed.
I do quite like the ones where Riker loses his mind. There's several of them. There's one where it turns out he's being taken apart by aliens every night.
Oh God, yeah.
No.
Earn your paycheck. Right, those ensigns now have to be transferred off the ship.
You kidding? After an incident like this, I'll bet you the captain would be like, let's just never mention this again. Everyone did undignified things.
They must have a lot of those.
I love how you can also tell there's no break in the carpet into the
turbolift
turbolift set.
So it just gets torn off every time the turbolift goes.
Yeah. Like there's a break there.
Yeah. Oh, and his toga.
Oh yeah. It's almost as bad as his toga from season 1, where he has to be.
Oh, it is not that bad.
Is Angel 1?
Angel
One, the
yeah.
matriarch planet.
Yeah. Oh, it's not that bad.
The feminist panic episode.
God, he's like.
A sequin pillow would be unbelievable. You just wake up with like cuts in your face.
What's the point? Like,
Yeah. Ah!
It's okay, Riker. None of those are venomous.
He didn't know that.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It does look comfortable. It does look very cozy.
Yes.
Do we know? Do we ever find out what book that is?
I don't think so.
Also, the way it's displayed is actually terrible for old books. Like,
Sorry, go on. It breaks the spine.
You never prop an old book up like that.
No.
The pages fall out.
So they're mentioning the technique they used to try and fight the Borg, which is channeling that beam through the deflector dish to try and create a blast.
Yes. Daily, you're in control. Why would you be a moon?
I mean, it's a good thing they have data, because none of the other starships have data to save them from situations every so often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if I was in this situation, I would just go to bed until it was all over.
It's not turn up for duty, nobody noticed.
Everyone's insane, like, I was there.
Yeah.
You just didn't notice, because you were insane.
Or you turn up back when it was all over and you'd be like, what? Why didn't anybody come to check on me?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, we just figured you were just fighting demons or something in your room.
Yeah, so like, no, I was tripping balls on the floor and you didn't come to me while you're just napping on the couch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, the best scene. The most wonderful.
The reason this is a spoopy episode.
Heartwarming scene.
Heartwarming. Like, oh. Nice little pointy. It's like a nubby pencil.
Yeah. Again, sound design in this. It's all suggested through sound.
This is very Doctor Who, this scene.
Oh, isn't it? Yeah. I love her reaction as she realises what's happening. Mm-hmm. And she realises they're behind her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now watch this.
Oh.
fantastic Here we go.
Yep. She's like, I'm hallucinating. I'm hallucinating.
And they're there. Wait until she sees them.
Mm-hmm.
You can still see the shoulder of the wand.
Yep. Go Crusher.
But the thing is, she just wills it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting. I didn't really attach much significance to that, but obviously that means that on some level it's psychological.
Oh, yeah. And that Crusher is a badass.
I feel she was underused
Oh, yeah.
in TNG. She never really got her due. They tried to give it... There's a fairly bad episode where they're trying to pilot a shuttle into a sun or something.
Yeah.
Later on in season 6 or 7. And she's given a kind of procedural police thing to kind of... A mystery to solve.
I remember that.
I feel like they needed to do that sort of thing more with her, is to give her procedural mysteries to solve. Medical mysteries, you know.
Mm-hmm. Because every time she gets her own moment, she's a fantastic character, but they just gave her so few.
She also directed what is possibly one of the scariest episodes, which is Genesis, where the crew devolves into various creatures.
Oh, yeah.
Which we may do, even though it's well out of the sequence that we've been watching in.
We're doing Spoopy. All bets are off.
One of the weirdest experiences for me was seeing her at the beginning of Hunt for Red October. She plays Jack Ryan's husband.
Oh.
Husband. Wife.
Why? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I didn't pick up on that. This is why it's late night Trek.
We have to listen to REM in order to get better.
Blasted on all speakers.
A terrible 20th century band. No, it was only for dads. Are you saying that this will cure us?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying there's a chance.
Are you saying that we need to knock everyone on the ship unconscious? Mm-hmm. Oh, very good, very good.
And there's a classic formula here, which is the slow building problem. Like, you've seen it happen on the other ship, which means you know it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It's already killed another ship.
You know it's coming for you.
It's beginning to happen here. Oh no!
Green bum.
You're going to have a green bum and be surrounded with softly lit cotton wool. I wonder how they did this kind of like webbing effect. That would be interesting.
It's cool.
They had all kinds of like cheap and cheerful, brilliant effects to do dreamlike, strange images.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way they did nebulas, for instance, was they would just put wax in water, film it at like 50 or 60 frames per second.
Ooh.
And then light it from behind with blue and purple. That's how they did the Mutara Nebula in Wrath of Khan.
Cool.
Was they just had like slowly moving wax that's kind of you know, gyrating and doing strange cloud-like patterns.
That's so cool.
That's how they did nebulas.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Have you tried knocking them out with a boxing glove? Now, do you think this episode is a good use of Troi?
I think it's one of the better uses of Troi.
I was going to say, I'll go further than that. I think it's possibly one of Troi's best episodes, because it's effectively her that saves the day.
Yeah.
She's sort of the hero.
I mean, I definitely think one of the better uses of Troi, I just think that that's a very low bar.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Guinan.
I mean, just the fact that they created Troi, it's already a bit of a... You're dipping your feet too far into psychobabble and a little bit past science and rationality into sort of spirituo. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Kind of slightly fuzzy subject matter.
Yes.
Energy, chakras, and spirituality, and that kind of thing. You want to be, and that means that character is sort of limited to having that role, and unless you are writing stories that involve poor Riker.
I'm sorry.
Not the most flattering angle on Mr. Riker here.
I'm sorry, I forgot that face.
He looks like he's been up all night on the holodeck having a crazy bender, and then he forgot he had a shift.
Oh god, that's me every morning.
Meow. Meow.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not
it
great.
tickles me. It tickles me.
So yeah, unless you're writing stories that take advantage of the paranormal in every episode or every season or so, you're not going to take full advantage of that. Now here, she senses something's wrong.
Yes, this is...
It's a good use of Troi, because they're like, wait, that felt weird.
That's not the usual Worf rage.
Worf's going to go and do something horrible. We need to stop him.
Yes. I'll agree. It's definitely one of the better uses of Troi. I just think that that's a really low bar. I love that Worf has, like, a sacrificial altar set up at all times.
Yep.
The glasses are full. Everything is ready.
Of whatever that fluid is, which I'm guessing is an anticoagulant of some sort.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, Worf.
Ooh, Alexandrine.
Hmm.
His son's name is Alexander.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping he didn't name him after the Klingon death chant.
No. I think that's saying, may Alexander be okay after I've gone. I think that's essentially what that prayer is about.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense. Well deduced. Thank you, Troi. Oh no.
It's still a little bit in the Klingons are warlike. They do not feel fear. It's slightly one-dimensional.
The Klingons tend to be one-dimensional. There are very few exceptions to that.
Yeah. And they tend to be very easily taken in by kind of like just in what's it? The Drumhead. The great episode of Drumhead.
Mm-hmm.
She basically the kind of investigative lawyer woman, she basically recruits Worf.
Yeah.
And then there's that awful episode in Deep Space Nine where they go to Risa and he
Yes.
he gets in with a kind of anti-fun, anti-pleasure planet right-wing militia of some sort that want to sabotage
everyone's happiness.
Yeah, they want to sabotage the weather controlling device or something like that.
Yep, that whole episode's so terrible, and mostly because yes, Worf and the Klingons are rather one-dimensional, but Worf isn't that weak. He's not that gullible.
Yeah,
I find that episode
to the character. Yeah,
I find that episode completely unbelievable. He would not just throw away his Starfleet principles because he's grumpy on vacation.
Yeah.
I find that episode very, very weak.
I also love that Lower Decks' first episode was essentially one of these. Like, there's a thing that's breaking out on the ship, and it's already too late. Everybody's already going insane.
Mm-hmm. I mean, how can you?
Does it seem to happen so much?
Well, weren't they doing a Naked Now knockoff? in the best way possible.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I mean, it's a fitting way to start. That's seen as that's kind of how TNG started, unbelievably.
It's also how the original series started, because that's a rewrite of an original series episode.
Exactly.
With Sulu and the lance, the foil, the fencing foil.
I Lower Decks is obviously still filled with references in every episode, but it is also kind of coming into its own as a show, as you were saying earlier today, which I really like.
There you go. You can see the two giant smudges of eyeshadow they've put right on the side of her nose. This is when they realise that they're having the same dream.
And they're going insane. Ooh, well
wow.
done.
Good for you, John Vickery.
Well done. Someone cut up some onions right off screen. I would love that. You know, when they take an older show and change the aspect ratio to widescreen, and you see things you're not supposed to see.
Yeah, you just onions. Just a little chopping board and a knife. Yeah.
Yep. There's a couple of those in Friends where it's only meant to be like a shoulder of someone, and they expand. It's like, oh, that's very much not the main actor.
Mm. Oh God.
Oh,
Troi. Not looking good.
Not your best look, Troi. Not your best look.
I mean, that's pretty much how I look after like a 19-hour flight. A travel day.
It's not too far off. Crusher's still looking, somewhat put together. Her hair's just a little fluffier than usual.
See, TNG was such a great optimistic show because it's like, okay, whatever insane situation you're in, there's always a solution. Mm-hmm. And the solution is based on figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever, you can nitpick the science until the cows come home, but that's essentially the message of the show. It's just like, you can figure it out.
Yep.
There is a solution. You've just got to study it and think of something.
And it's usually clever.
Yeah. As opposed to the new shows where the solution is always kill you! War! Ryan crystals. I'm a guy called Ryan typed this up, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
They always put loads of little fun things in. So apparently somebody in the labels that are on everything, all the little panels and stuff, one of the ones on Voyager apparently has quotes from Gilligan's Island on it.
Oh, that's fun.
Aha.
There we go.
I mean, hydrogen's volatile on its own.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd asked for... Yeah. It's very, very good reasoning. I do quite like this conclusion because it mixes... The anxiety comes from... You're in dream time. How does that relate to normal time? Because this is such a fuzzy thing, and how controllable is it?
Yep.
You have no idea whether this could even work or not.
Nope. And they only have a finite amount of hydrogen that they can use, so...
So you have 2 minutes, you know. And what is that in dream time? I mean, you lose all sense of time when you're asleep. What? Where am I?
Oh, poor Picard.
I love it a minute when Data's like, right, go to bed.
Yeah. Everyone go to take a nap. I'll get us home.
Night night.
This is
Acting
acting.
Captain Data. How many times did that happen?
Quite a few, I feel like.
I know.
Because anytime there's any biological threat. Ooh, are we gonna get a nice...
So did he get drunk as well? Is that, is that his problem?
I think he's just exhausted. And everyone's getting irritable. But,
So have they just been in 10 forward for like 4 days?
I think so.
Oh, this is the famous moment with Guinan's gun.
Yes! Yes, I
Her
love
paper
it.
mache cardboard gun, yeah.
There we go.
The fights were always so tame. in TNG.
Cool.
It's like a super soaker that's been painted gold. Yeah.
I love it. Some little spark effects.
I'm surprised they didn't bring that back for Picard season 2. Have her like firing at aliens, like "Fuck you, motherfucker!"
I assume she knows what that thing does, and not just that it's not gonna blow a hole in the hull.
Yeah, Mike and Rich said this over one of their shows. It's like she fires at the ceiling with no regard for the people in the deck above.
You're looking great, Troi.
I love that little touch there. She misses her badge.
Mm-hmm.
She's like,
It's like when you're going for
call
the
the bridge.
It's like when you're going for the snooze button on the
Yeah,
morning.
exactly. The kind of weird
Beep boop, beep boop.
streams of red goo.
Red hydrogen.
Again, like the conclusion is an explosion, but it's a little cleverer than that. There is the solution is that you have to cooperate with the aliens.
Yep. You don't have to find them. Just say now.
But again, it's almost like the movie Arrival in that there's a communication problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't communicate normally. They communicate through dreams and telepathy and stuff, and we communicate through just words and opening communications channels.
It is very Arrival in that respect. Troi does frustrate me in this too, though. She's like, I have to find you,
Oh, I'd forgotten about that. There's a figure that appears before her.
Very good. Now.
I love that it goes in a straight line, straight forward, as opposed to just go bang.
bang.
Yeah, turn into a cloud immediately. Boom. Right,
Nice firework.
full impulse power now.
Very good.
Now the alien ship here is really brilliant. I can't remember how they did this.
Cool.
But yeah, look at this. But yeah, you don't have no idea what that is. That's just some glowing lump of crystal or something,
I wish Eagle Moss just figured out some way to make that.
There we go.
Now everyone go to bed.
Yeah. The telepathic crystalline dudes are safe. So of course to bed.
Yeah. Data, where's my bed? I need...
He should just go,
Data just
straight
like
down.
flumps him over his shoulder.
Yeah,
and buries him in
finally
bed.
lifts him all the way out.
I feel like if they had the ability to do that, like effects-wise, they probably would.
Oh yeah.
Is his bed in his captain's quarters?
No, that's the turbo lift. Sorry,
Okay.
that's the turbo lift.
Alright.
The
towards
captain,
to the left, yes.
the ready room is to the left. There.
Silly me, silly me.
Silly you not knowing the layout of a place you've never been. Yeah,
I mean, I should.
that's all right.
I should know better.
Data doesn't need recharge or anything.
Nope.
I suppose not. Ah, classic
Very
episode.
good.
Very good spoopy one. It's a
I
good way
love
to
that
kick
one.
off the spoopy season.
It is. Oh, spoopy season.
So we'll have to decide what to do next.
Yes. Well,
What episode is coming up?
we'll have a think, and if you have any episodes that you want us to do during spoopy season, do leave them in the comments.
All right. Well, we
Some
won't watch the
suggestions.
entire. Final thoughts on Night Terrors.
Excellent spoopy episode.
It's definitely got to be in the top 10. I mean, it's not one of the more notable episodes of Next Gen. It's just kind of a standard one.
Oh,
a
yeah.
very standard one. But the thing is, I always liked the standard ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can only do Best of Both Worlds once, really.
Yeah.
Because every time they tried to do it again, it was always less satisfying. Whereas the really good kind of standard episodes that didn't try to have major revelations for any of the characters or didn't try to be like, universe changing events happening, they always have a really solid structure
Indeed.
that ramps up to a climax very nicely and
It's a
works well.
solid one-off.
It's a solid one-off. That's what I like. That's why I like Star Trek, is for a solid one-off that it just gets resolved in one episode, done.
And hats off to the makeup department in this episode.
Yeah.
They sold it.
Yeah, they sold that everyone was going nuts. Quite nicely.
Unless the director just said, yeah, well, so none of you are allowed to sleep for the next 3 days, and then we're going to shoot.
Right.
But, assuming that was not the case, well done, makeup department.
They just did Guantanamo Bay style sleep deprivation torture on everyone. Just like kicked him and stopped them falling asleep.
Oh, God. I mean, it certainly looked it.
Alright, well, on that inappropriate note,
we're gonna leave
we're
it
going to
there.
wrap this up here. Thanks everyone for listening, and we will see you next time on Spoopy Late Night Trek.
Nighty night.